work,
mental health,
societal and cultural stress,
substance abuse,
the economy, not having basic family needs met.
Those issues are things many of us deal with at one point or another, but if not managed properly, they can be contributing factors in dangerous or even deadly situations. So far this year, 10 people have been killed in Allen County. In 6 of those cases, charges have been filed against the victim's intimate partner or family member. 6 of the 10 victims were also females. In fact, more women have been killed in the first 3 months of 2025 than in total last year. Femicide, the killing of women and girls, is an issue being tracked globally, even here in Fort Wayne.
It is across cultures, it is across economic brackets, it's across all segments of society. In fact, every 10 minutes, a woman or a girl is killed from people that they know and people that they are closest to.
Tasha Sayer, Operations Senior Coordinator for the Center for Nonviolence, says the numbers are disheartening, but align with trends her organization sees.
An increase in societal and cultural stress, those numbers tend to increase.
Those pressures often lead to increased issues with domestic violence, a leading cause of femicide. But Sayer says there's more factors at play.
With the political climate and with rights for women being stripped away on many different levels of society, that is just affirming and emboldening people who see women as less than. It makes it easier and easier for them to objectify women and say that, okay, this person doesn't have a right to that life.
While many see domestic situations as a simple matter of an abuse victim deciding to walk out the door, those at the Center for Nonviolence and other local organizations tell us it's much more complicated.
But it takes women 7 to 10 times of leaving to actually fully leave the relationship, and every time they do that, the lethality risk increases.
We know that the most dangerous time for an individual to leave a domestic violence situation is when they are leaving.
We like to safety plan with people before they make a change so they kind of know how to be as safe as possible.
That kind of safety planning can be crucial because while each domestic situation is different, statistics say an unsuccessful attempt to leave can be deadly.
That's strike one against them. And as those strikes keep going, the risk keeps going up. But what we're seeing with the access to guns and less requirements on permits for guns and things as such, that lethality risks is multiplied. Because if they're walking out the door, threatening to walk out the door even the first and the second time, the thought process is, okay, well, I'm gonna stop her, and this is my way of stopping her.
Sadly, sometimes those do end in someone being killed.
Financial struggles, a lack of problem-solving skills, and a changing political landscape can also play a role in the increase. Not having the resources to get out is a barrier for victims escaping domestic violence, but organizations in Fort Wayne are working to bridge that gap.
For survivors of domestic violence, there are a number of ways we can provide support.
Carla Kilgore, YWCA Director of Mission Advancement, says her organization can help with safety planning, counseling, and emergency shelter. Last year, they helped more than 600 domestic violence survivors.
The services we provide are vital and life-saving, so it's really important to me that YWCA is here to make sure that every person who calls our hotline, every survivor of domestic violence can reach out and get the support they need.
But YWCA isn't the only help victims can find. Within the Fort Wayne Police Department, Victims Assistance helps survivors navigate the legal system. Senior advocate Patrice Miller says her team fills a variety of roles, both for survivors and the families of people killed.
If there is an arrest made, then our role as an advocate is to guide them through the criminal justice process, provide them with support, provide them with counseling resources, and just be a continued guide to them.
Miller has been a victim advocate for 17 years. She says she's grateful to be a support for victims and their families.
Whatever that may look like for the families that or individuals we are serving, maybe it's a still voice, a moment of silence, a hug, a rub on the back, or just being there. That is what my passion is keeping that ministry of presence and being able to advocate.
There are no one-size-fits-all solutions, and while victims can't benefit from programs they don't know about or easily navigate through an unfamiliar system, the Center for Nonviolence says that's the role advocates can play.
If you're on let's say a high school track and field track, and you have a blindfold on and there are tons of hurdles set up, and you hit that first and second hurdle, you're gonna quit. You're just gonna stop. You're gonna go back to what's normal, what's comfortable. Whether that's the use being normal and comfortable, but you're gonna go back to that because that's where you're comfortable. But if you can take that blindfold off, go around that track, and whether you are tall enough to go over that hurdle or not, somebody's there to help navigate that system. Having those tools, having those resources, having someone there to be an advocate, thinking through all those things. And it's hard to do that when you are living in survival mode. It is easier to do that from an outside perspective. That's the importance of an advocate.
And to remind you of some of the resources available to YWCA Northeast Indiana, the Center for Nonviolence and the Fort Wayne Police Department's Victim Assistance are just a few organizations that offer a wide range of resources for domestic violence victims. Don't hesitate to reach out to them, but if you do find yourself in imminent danger, don't wait. Call 911 right away.